from okay to the pale costume when she seems drawn, when she's not done. Where will she run? When she's on the
Welcome to a Thanksgiving stream. This actually is Thanksgiving and the holidays. This just came to me literally like 2 minutes ago. Just thinking about the guys and myself going through our first or our 10th Thanksgiving or our Christmas where we don't have our kids, and we can feel a smorgasbord of emotions and the difficulty of how do we make it through? How do we enjoy it? Our families live out of states. My parents still live in Oregon. I don't have a lot of family where I live. How do we do it? Fathers aren't supposed to be away from their kids, especially during holidays. Would you agree? Shout out to CJ, Megatron, another wrench, Mouth Agape, riding his motorcycle, Rusty Rivers. Good to see you, brother. Who else we got? Bookshelf Learn. The Lions lost. Did they lose? I thought they were up. Good to see everyone. Mochi is in the house. Saludos. Mouth Agape says it's snowing here. Be careful. We're supposed to get a snowstorm tonight. Home Alone says CJ. Let's see. I chose to be alone during the holidays because I want to. When I bet this is my ninth, going on my ninth, 8th or 9th season having to. Now I don't split custody anymore because, as you know, my youngest is now 18 and he's at college. In fact, we just had Thanksgiving with him. He can choose where he wants to go now. My middle boy is in Colorado. He's got to work tomorrow. And the oldest, who I don't really have a relationship with, is I don't know where she's at, most likely Florida. But was my youngest spent the night last night. We had a small little Thanksgiving today. I made it, turkey and all the trimmings, and then he went up with his mom and cousins, and they're doing that, which is fine. He's old enough to make his own decisions. He's got a girlfriend, and here we go. So there we're at. Shout out to Ishi. Happy Thanksgiving to you. But it's difficult. Let's be real. I remember that first year we did it together, which was really odd. I'd been out of the house for about 6 months, and we did Thanksgiving. And no, I didn't do Thanksgiving with her, but I did Christmas. And that was weird. At the family house, I was living apart. We were going through divorce, and it was crazy. But the last 7 years, there's been every other year. I don't have the kids, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas. So I know the feelings that men go through when you wake up in the morning, especially on a Christmas morning, and it's quiet, and you're not going to see your kids. Probably if they're in school, you're not going to see them for the first half of the Christmas break. Which means, let's say they get out the 18th, there's 16 days in the Christmas break. You're going to see that person on the 26th or the 27th. Then you're going to have your Christmas, and it rotates every year. But it's challenging. I'll tell you what, it's not easy. It's not easy. We're not supposed to be away from our children. We're not supposed to be. We're supposed to be throwing the football to the boys, and the girls are, making pies in the kitchen, and we're cutting the turkey up, and everybody's screaming and yelling, and your kids are fighting with each other because they want to watch a certain show. all of those experiences, I get it. We've been through it. And I wanted to do a quick live stream today to say, hey, you guys aren't alone. A lot of men in this chat understand exactly what we're going through, and it's not easy. So respect and know that you're loved and know that you are cared for. David Castro, what's up to you, brother? Good to see you again. Another OG. The spinning wheels, 2134. The feelings I wake up to in the morning is I have to release urine out of me. Well, that's a nice physical feeling to have. I hear you, Spinning's wheel. Timothy Sokol's in the house. Old Christian Henny is back. Good to see you. Mouth of Gabe says, I moved out of the house the night before Thanksgiving 3 years ago. It ain't easy, is it? Now, how do we get through it? Can you get the chicken zinc pie? Ha! That sounds actually pretty good. Char is in the house. Rusty River, good to see everybody chiming in. And let me know your thoughts. What are your feelings? I mean, it's been, I'm going to be going on a decade here in the next year of being going through the divorce and being divorced and so forth, and actually being outside of the home. So I've been able to bolster and be strong, but it's not easy. Those first, the guys that are going through this, the first year, the second, maybe the third year, it gets better. You're able to deal with it, and you got to stay busy. You can't think about it. I mean, number one, you have to accept the fact that you're not going to see your kids. That's the number one thing you got to do. You have to accept the fact that she's got them this year, or they don't want to come and hang out with you. Okay. A lot of times we take it personal, not personal. That personal, position really affects us. It can really affect a lot of guys. I've had 2 people that I know that took themselves out right after the holidays just because they could not handle the pain of not seeing their family or being away from their kids. To see you again. Did you get my email about what I said about your opinion about the emails? Yes. Did I not respond to you? I'm sorry if I didn't. I think I responded to you, brother. Sacred Smoke says, it's just me and my dad eating a frozen tray of Stouffer's lasagna we share with the old guy who lives upstairs by himself. Well, at least you're sharing it with another person that might be alone. The holidays are very difficult, very difficult. Whether you're divorced, whether you don't have kids, whether you're not married, we tend to look at the holidays as if we don't have people around us, there's something wrong with us. And I understand that feeling, but that's not the truth. That's just society's programming. There's a lot of things you can do, especially Thanksgiving. There's a lot of football games. You can take some hikes. It's, out here, it's cold, but you can get out and do things, right? Watch a good show. Try to stay away from the shows that are family oriented, that have kids, the Home Alone type stuff. Watch funny movies, watch war movies, things like that. Timothy says, and a baked potato, whiskey, and a good cigar. Attaboy. Attaboy. No kids, no wife, no problem. You're in a good position, man. I'll tell you what, you're in a good position. It's snowing. It's snowing out where you're at. Well, we're going to get some snow tonight. WHO is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm spending my holidays out on the open land, working my tail off, earning enough money for early retirement. Here's another thing. Well, great that you said that, Megatron. I mean, there's a lot of people that need work on Thanksgiving, and you can pick up double, triple time. So it could be a nice little money maker. And by the time you're done, you're tired, you go to bed, you wake up, it's a new day tomorrow. There you go. I always cook at home because of Floyd's eating out. There you go. Marty, brother. Bernard, I'm divorced, stepdad, hard at the moment. It is tough. It's tough. So that's why I put this stream together, because I know there's guys out there right now that are sitting at their computer. It's 6:39 Mountain Time, 5:39 on the West Coast, 8:39 on the East Coast. So that's why we do it. So, Tanara, good to see you. What we got here? Our woke family members didn't want us around because we didn't take the robot juice. Good for you. You'll be way ahead of them when the jab starts to act up in their bloodstream. Skeleton in the house. Good to see you. American Sniper. There's a good one. Great movie. What else is what's the one with Marky Mark and he's the Shooter. Shooter's a great movie. I mean, watch that. The guy's like been bamboozled by all of his friends. He's alone. He's trying to escape the government and not get killed. Great movie. Seraphim's in the house. Good to see you. Talking about criminal records and asking me how to move their stove and how to fix the furniture. Wow. Yeah, interesting. Alone and never lonely. Love my peace and quiet. PQF. Peace, quiet, and freedom. Parking lot, good to see you. Tell me where you're from, parking lot. Good evening to you. Lone Survivor and Marky Mark, great movie. Ever since my grandma and grandpa died a couple years ago, Thanksgiving has never been the same. I think I look at Christmas like that, David. For me, Christmas, that was my favorite holiday. We'd cut the tree down. I would make a wreath out of the trimmings of the tree. I never liked to buy the wreath because I wanted to make it myself. I just took a lot of pride in it. You know, people knock on the door. I made that wreath, and it looked great. It looked like a store-bought wreath, but it's not the same. I don't get into it. Maybe someday. Who knows? Europa, says Sotunar. I'll have to check that out. The Mr. True Blood, the legend himself. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I was thinking about you today. I don't know if you streamed, but hope you are doing well and you've had a nice meal. Brandon trucking every day and giving back to the Society of Men every single day. This guy streams. Any guy that's suffering and struggling and having issues and sad or going through a divorce, you can always catch a True Blood stream. The most consistent streamer in the manosphere. Back to the Future. Imagine you could go back and talk to my 17-year-old rat. Oh, I'm waiting for that time machine, Ishi. Send it my way, please. Indiana parking lot. Which part, Carmel? I've been to Indianapolis. Never been to Lafayette. I wanted to go and see where Axl Rose was born. Manasseh, hey, y'all. Thank you for all in here who are strong to keep on fighting another day. Self-deletion is never the answer. Appreciate you bringing that up. And there's guys right now. I guarantee the amount of thinking of self-deletion is through the roof right now for men. We can save one life. We did something, but we need to save multiple men. Men are worth it. The Great Escape, starring Steve McQueen. Oh, wonderful movie. Glad you brought that up. The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. There you go. I've been watching a bunch of Australian thriller films that I really like. Wolf Creek, Red Hill, The Rover with Guy Pearce, Mystery Road, Goldstone. Lots of great Australian thrillers. Keep you busy. Keep your mind off the things that make you feel sad. Felt bad on Outlaw Stream. Had a pacifist ranting and pissing all over. Weak men are frustrating. Weak men are very difficult to deal with because they're basically they feminize their minds. They feminize their masculinity, and it's unfortunate. But I don't see it ever returning. Most of these guys are simps. They'll get back on the hamster wheel. Let them try to fix everything. I think Thanksgiving and Christmas is for the kids. I understand that, says Marty. Yep. Once you understand that, but still, I mean, some of my greatest moments with my kids were waking up to see them so excited to see what Santa Claus brought them. And the night before, me and the ex-wife wrapping the presents, putting the toys together, the doll houses. You know, it was always my job to put the doll house or the kids' furniture together so they could wake up and see everything. There you go. Brandon says, I'm actually on vacation with family. Next stream on Sunday. Oh, good for you. You deserve it, brother. You deserve it. Parking lot. Been there. I know 96 and Noblesville. Is that Carmel? Carmel's a cool little town. I'll tell you that. They got some cool little breweries, some brew pubs, and just a nice area. What would I tell my 17-year-old self? I would say, you know what I would tell my 17-year-old self? The feelings you think are love and romantic are just chemicals that are going to wear off. Do not put any faith or trust or base your future on 3 chemicals that could potentially destroy you. That's probably what I would say. And number 2, I'd say live a minimalistic lifestyle, which I have. I've been very minimalist. Even when I was married, I struggled. We had a lot of issues. She just liked to spend like all women. And I don't like to spend and bring more things into the house. Although every time we've got kids presents for Christmas, we would donate 2 of those presents to Goodwill, and then we buy an extra one. So whereas most people will just keep accumulating gifts, and they just take over all of their house space. But that's what I would tell myself. Aliens 1, 2, 3 tonight. There you go. So that's reality. I mean, I would literally tell myself, and I'm trying to tell my boy this. You got to not be a slave to your biology. These feelings that you're feeling are just chemicals. You get the same chemicals from a great sports game that's hanging on the line, and your favorite team, it's coming down to 2 seconds and they win, and that feeling of euphoria that your team won and you were holding on and worried that they wouldn't make the touchdown or the basket, and then all those feelings, and you jump for joy and you're so excited and you bask in that moment for an hour or two, and it goes away. That's what I would tell my 17-year-old self. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the programming. I just read that. Old Christian Henny. I am alone at home right now, says Roll on 96, 2810. I'd rather spend today alone away from my narcissistic, abusing family. I really hate. But that's another thing. Stay away from toxicity, you know? And you made that choice, which I applaud you. And keep your mental health stable. Travis is back. Hello, rad men. About time to have another round of pie. The faithful kind of pie that's sweet, never lets you down. The loyal pie, the pumpkin pie. I had a great, I made my turkey stuffing. I don't really make a lot of food just because it's usually me now, but I take pride in doing that. It's great. And today's a time to really reflect on that. And I was thinking today, man, I'm making everything that I never did this when I was married, because my ex-wife was a good cook. But I take pride in it, even if you have to do it by yourself, right? Chicken zinc pie. I have no idea what that is, but I can only speculate. Escape from New York. In Portland, there's a pizza place called Escape from New York Pizza. It's still there. Went there when I was 15, skateboarding the streets. 36 years later, it's still there. First time alone, but not bad. I made my bookcase, cleaned the house, cooked steak, and had a wine. Did I miss the company? Of course. But the alternative is much worse, says Betty. Good to have you, Betty. Appreciate you, brother. But I hear you. I'm glad that you kept busy. Steven, checking in from Arizona. Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you, brother. Saint T. Saint T's back in the house. Good to have everybody. John Wayne. Wasn't he in Stagecoach? No, he wasn't in Stagecoach, but some of his old Westerns were wonderful. Whatever you guys can do to keep yourself busy. Oh, you're having Thanksgiving on your own. Well, my son was here. But he spent the night, hung out with his lady friend last night, and woke up at 11. We had Thanksgiving at 12, then he left at 1. But, he's an 18-year-old, so it was great having him. He enjoyed the turkey. He gets 2 Thanksgivings today, and, it's good. Big Papa Monk, good to have you, brother. Appreciate you here. Carl's back. Hope my boys are well and grateful for where they have, no matter where they are or who they're with. Raise my glass of whiskey to you, Carl. Well, I don't have whiskey. I have vino. Cheers to you. Nick Vincent, back. Good to see Nick. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, everybody here. Binged on Chronicles of Riddick 2 days ago. The Peace Quiet is golden. Chronicles of Riddick for 300, Trebek. Char, it's 2:49 a.m. Where are you, Char? That's 8 hours ahead. You're not in Central or South America. I know where you're from. I just can't think. I'm from Michigan, and we take our deer hunting seriously. Omega, if you ever get deer jerky, you know where to send it. Deutschland, there you go. Ich liebe dich for being in the chat. So that's where we're at. Guys are listening, chiming in. We have a brotherhood here, and we understand one another. Those that have been married, those that have been divorced, those that have kids, those that don't have kids, those that can't see their kids today, those that are drunk right now because they just want to get through the day. I've been in those situations. I understand it. I remember my first Thanksgiving, or no, Christmas. I remember waking up Christmas. Again, 3 kids, 16 years of raising kids. And that one Christmas, that very first Christmas, I woke up and I did not have the kids. And it was weird because every time we had Christmas, we wake, they wake up at 5:30 in the morning. We tell them to wait till 7. We're all tired. We've got crusties in our eyes. I'm wearing my four eyes, and we're getting the cameras ready to get to see the excitement on the kids. And that first Christmas, I woke up and I didn't hear that chitter chatter, and it was earth shattering. And I had to decide then and there what I would do. Nick Vincent from the UK, I know that. 5:50 Cali time, I know that. Seraphim, it's late where you're at too. Chris Mitchell in the house. Good to see the Emperor back. He's making pizza up in Canada. I don't think you guys celebrate Thanksgiving. You might. My father-in-law was Canadian from Raymond, Alberta. 0450 in the sandbox. Attaboy. Ireland. Raise my Guinness to you. Well, next time I have Guinness, Marty, good to have you. The rules in Ireland, I wonder what they're like when it comes. Are they Western rules when it comes to custody? David says, I'm alone drinking Bacardi, lemon, and Coke. It is so depressing. My baby mama is a deep down 304 that don't want my kids with me on the holidays. Yeah, I've been there, man. I remember those days. That probably the first couple. Yeah, I mean, it's still tough. It's still tough today. I mean, now my kids are older. It's a different world because they're launched and things like that. But I know where you're at, man. Just stay inside and warm, and just allow yourself to be. Simple as that. I wish somebody would have told me that. You know what I did? A couple of those Christmases and Thanksgiving, I watched a lot of Big John. And I got my mind off things. I wasn't alone. I read the comments, and I got on streams if there were any streams. Back then, not a lot of streams are going on Thanksgiving. Tennessee, attaboy, Knoxville, Memphis, Nashville, Franklin. The Swiss Alps, dang. Is the chocolate that good over there, Seraphim? It's in October for us in Canada. Canada. Can Justin Trudeau just go away? Chris, can you let Justin Trudeau know he's a simp? Timothy says, ate a lot of turkey in muddy foxholes and some in the sand. Loving my slippered feet in front of my new television. Your new smart television, where you can speak into your microphone and it recognizes your speech. Go watch Porky's. Remember Porky's from the 80s? Women don't care. Children, holidays, and husbands. Only thing she cares about how to keep her illusions in Santa Claus life. They just, again, women process it a lot differently. And I would always say the older two, my youngest just turned 18 this year. So the older two turned 18 4 or 6 years ago. And they would always go with their mom in the evening. And I would never hold my youngest back. I'm like, you know what? All for one for all. If your brother and sister are going to your cousins, which is on the mom's side, then you're going too. And I was fine with that because you have to do what's in the best interest of the kids, whether you like it or not. That just shows your maturity. And typically on the other side, it doesn't happen that way when the baby mama's got the kids, but it is what it is. I hear you, Betty. I hear you loud and clear. Marty says, yep, the Western rules. Thank Ronald Reagan, 1969. There's Jawara. He's back. He's eating some turkey. I bet he's eating some green bean casserole. He's eating some yams, taters. I like me some taters. Oh, go watch Sling Blade. That's a great movie. Chocolate can only be got in Belgium. Belgium chocolate for 300, Trebek. The only god in Belgium is beer. By the monks. The monks make the beer and some great beer in Belgium. I took a TV off the street, fixed it. Now it's like a drive-in theater in my living room. Attaboy. Let's just say, Chris, I agree with that. There's most women out there that are in a custody situation do not want the kids ever, regardless if the man or the father has them, they don't like them to be with them. And it is what it is. It's not normal. That's what I'm going to say. To be without a nuclear family during the holidays. I don't care who you are, how happy you are being divorced. I'm very happy that I'm divorced, but it's still not normal. It's weird. It doesn't feel right. It's taken a lot of again, I used to love Christmas, and I just want to get through it as soon as possible. It just doesn't have the same feel anymore. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I've put my emphasis in other areas of my life, right? Char says, all right, ain't no gas in it. How much for them taters? Sling Blade, great movie. The MGTOW Infinium is back. Good to see you. Check out the MGTOW Infinium's channel. So we stay busy by keeping our mind off those things, by not thinking that we are alone. Our kids are a lot of times we'll think, do our kids miss us? Are they thinking about us? I remember when my youngest he was just turned 10 when we got divorced. He'd always text me on the Christmas, when the days that, the holidays, Dad, I miss you. Happy Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving. The older two really never did that. But, at least the youngest was thinking about me. You can't win them all. How about that? Marty says, I agree. Nuclear family is the best. Yeah. We didn't get married and have kids to not have them. We did not get married to have kids to get divorced. Did we not? But life is life. 85-inch TVs are $1,300. Give them bread and circus, and then they will never rebel. Debt slavery is legal slavery. Well said, brother. Carl says Christmas also has gotten so commercialized that it's lost a lot of meaning. I agree. Yeah, it's all about the money. And you know who likes the money? Trog's in the house. Just me and my male dogs had enough of the biatches. Peace, quiet, and freedom, Trog. Zero Cool. Happy Thanksgiving to you, brother. Glad you are in the chat today. Funny how a perfectly good holiday gets wrecked by a single lady. We're not alone. Think about 34 sets of eyeballs are watching. Think about all the men that have no idea about men going their own way, that are right now sitting on their couch, just miserable, sad, potentially crying, worried about their kids, missing everything, questioning their existence. Luckily, we came together. We found each other. We found different channels to help us get through life. They do it because it's not about the well-being of the children. It's about keeping you, the father, in pain. Couldn't agree with that more, brother. I believe that there is a sinister view of the baby daddy by the baby mama. 90% of women are miserable. They don't like themselves. They don't like other women. They don't like men. We know that. 1 to 2%, I believe, are not like that. And it's about keeping the man in pain, as the Emperor talks about. Jazz says, your first Christmas is a difficult story to hear, Rad. You've been through a lot, and your strength trickles to all of us. Appreciate you being here, brother. I've been there. I know what it's like to have a fifth of vodka in front of you, and you're trying to make it go as long as possible by adding lemonade, or Coke, or ginger ale, or any sort of fruit juice, regardless how it tastes or doesn't taste, and you're just trying to make it through the day. Because tomorrow it gets back to reality. I mean, drive the streets right now; they're empty. People are and have their house, and everybody's thinking right now, oh, everyone's got a happy family, and they're all sitting at a table with 20 different seats, and mom and dad are at the opposite ends, and the kids are smiling and happy, all dressed up in their Thanksgiving outfits, and everything is hunky-dory. Well, I'll tell you what, most of the Thanksgivings that I went to with my in-laws, and even my parents and my brothers and sisters, I mean, they were difficult too, but we were together as family, right? Now, I've gone up to my sisters when I haven't had my kids and so forth, and I've taken them, but it's just a nuclear family is the right way to spend it, but we are where we're at. Let's see. Bookshelf Learn, starting the new job soon. Came with a pay raise and closer to home. Nice to be winning. Good for you, brother. Stack that money. I have a female German Shepherd, the only biatch I can trust. I'm sure she keeps you quite company, Mr. Steven. I love my monk life. Enjoy it while you can. Nothing wrong living alone, guys. It's my first full weekend with the kids. The ex offered Thanksgiving to me today if I gave her my weekend. Obviously, I said no. So she said no Thanksgiving. Jeez. Well, that's par for the course. You're not alone in that situation. Don't trade. Whatever you do, do not trade weekends. If I can give any advice, you stay to your schedule. Stay to your custody schedule. No matter how bad it hurts Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever. A lot of time, you know what I would do? Vacation. Take some time off. Go travel during those days. Get out of the town that, where your kids live. Maybe a new environment, new experiences, a new city will break that monotony of thinking that you don't have anything. They go 4 hours away. What are you going to do? You can't be around them because you're 4 hours away. So enjoy where you're at. Harsh truth is no matter how loyal and gentle you think your lady is, she'll be ruthless in your failures and eventually get bored from you. Betty Saab, laying it down to Chinatown. The holidays, Thanksgiving to New Year's is a depressing season. Well said. I have to always now find a way to stay away from that narc evil family. Well, you can do it. You can do it. Fruit juice is just sugar, nothing but sugar. Imagine what one image of the MGTOW logo on mainstream TV would do for some men. Where are the anonymous hackers when you need them? Nick Vincent. Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't recruit for this space. You can only live by example. No harm in living a life, says Marty from Ireland. Well said. Kids are a means of jerking your chain constantly. Trog. Yeah. As I was saying today, kids, it's great having my kids grown up. They're growing up. They're not minors anymore, but you still worry about them. It doesn't get easier. The easiest time with kids is when they were born. Those first couple years, you put them down and they went to bed. You'd have to deal with some teething. Wait till they become teenagers, and they cost a lot at that point. Happy Turkey Day is where it is at. I got some turkey for tomorrow, but I ate all my stuffing. Christmas is the joy of spending time with family together. Unfortunately, you and I both know that's not going to happen. Yeah, I mean, at this point, that's why I'm getting everything ready to get this house sold. Obviously, it's difficult to sell houses, especially now during the holidays. But I'll be hopefully in Mexico in the next 6 months, and then I will be able to experience the holidays down there in a different way. I think being out of your initial surroundings, where you live, where you went through your marriage, your divorce, just being away from that is a good way to spend the holidays. I think accepting where you're at is probably the number one way to get through it. Accept the fact that your kids have a mother and a father. They're going to be with one of you. And when it's not your turn, you got to stay busy. Don't watch the sappy movies and worried that the kids have forgot about you. Kids don't forget about their parents. They love mom, they love dad. Some are close to you, some are not. 2 out of my 3 are close to me. Those are good odds if you think about it. And my buddy's got 6 kids, and 4 out of the 6 don't talk to him. So, and most of them, the 3 out of the 4 that don't talk to him are girls. Go figure. Can we say poison for 300 Trebek? I'm staying safe the Jonathan Noble way. Attaboy, Joara. That's my boy. Hammer turkey. Turkey today, rad. I take a honey glazed ham for any holiday meal. Turkey has never done it for me. Interesting. I only like white turkey, but I do like those honey baked hams, especially for Christmas. True, early years for kids are the best until the school system indoctrinates them. Oh, dude, does the school system ever? Absolutely. Now it's turning the kids into Skittles and Fruit Loops. Even spending with your initial family, if they're crazy, psycho, your mother and father, your brothers and sisters, just stay away. I mean, peace, quiet, and freedom. That's what we're after, right? How can we appreciate peace, quiet, and freedom even when we don't have the kids? Hold on. Manasseh says, those who want a new hobby, get an e-bike. E-bikes are cool. E-bikes are cool, Manasseh. Marty says, would I ever get married again? Never, ever. I won't even live with a woman again. Nope. I already did that. I already know. You look, here's the deal. People talk about marriage all the time. I'm not anti-marriage. I don't recommend it. It's too risky. You're going to give up your peace, quiet, and freedom. You're going to struggle. Familiarity is going to breed complacency. Complacency breeds contempt, and contempt breeds destruction. It's really that simple. Fight Club, great movie. Great movie. Tyler Durden. Celebrate Christmas with your best friends, including yourself. Enjoy the good times. Always go out, eat food, and then celebrate yourself. Sometimes it's best to be lonely and celebrate yourself. Well said. Well said, brother. All right, I'm going to bed. Got to work tomorrow. Good to have you, David. Appreciate your comments. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Ham is better than turkey any day. There's nothing wrong with ham or bacon or pork chops. Yeah, we ain't getting married, man. I'll tell you what. The worst part of a relationship is their in-laws and relatives. Ooh, that's probably the best thing about being divorced during the holidays. I don't have to go with those doggone in-laws who drove me nuts. So that is a benefit. Now, if you have little kids, hopefully you can communicate with them, call them. They apparently there's some company that makes like watches. They're not like iPhone watches or iWatches. They're watches that the kid can you can call and they can like talk into it and you can talk to them and they wear them. They were around like 8 or 9 years ago. It's probably a lot better now, but I do know certain baby mamas, if you call the phone, will turn the phone off so you can't talk to your kids on those days. Seraphim says, well, your problems travel with you, brother. Let it go. Yeah, they do. They sure do. There are so many great quote. There are so many past Christmas streams to listen. I'm sure they'll be around. Lazarus usually does one. Yep. Connect with other men. Argentina's new Trump-like president, Javier Milei, keeps his promise as announced that the Argentinian Ministry of Women, Gender, and Equality will close in 21 days. Ooh, make Argentina great again. I did like the guy because he was, he's our Latin Trump. In-laws are very hard to deal with. Can I make a call-in show for Christmas? Let's see. We'll see what happens. Well, I think one of us, maybe Brandon Trueblood might. Maybe I do. Maybe we all do it together. Griswold Christmas. One of my favorites. His brother's my favorite. It's pretty cool that you go live today, Rad. Shows your character. You're a good human. Appreciate you, Ishi. I don't know if you worked today in the pediatric hospital, but if you did, go enjoy a nice turkey dinner. Dick Tracy watch. There you go. National Lampoons. There is nothing wrong with the Griswold. Do you want to get out? If you're feeling down, go watch a Bill Murray movie. Go watch a Chevy Chase movie. Go watch a John Candy movie. Steve Martin movie. Go watch a war movie. Go watch Terminator. Bookshelf Learn. Ever owned your own boat? I'm looking to do some duck hunting next year and got offshore. Maybe some ice fishing if we can get a cold enough winter. You know who you want to talk to? Talk to Dak. One Fast Dak. He's got boats for all of that. I've never had a boat. My ex's dad had a boat, broke down all the time. That's why they call it Bust Out Another 1,000. BOAT. Andrew Rees. Brad, you're awesome to stream today. Glad I found you again. Went riding and cooked dinner for myself. Attaboy. Good for you. And you're going to sleep like a baby tonight. Appreciate you being here, Andrew. I am heavily suspicious of Javier. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Actions speak louder than words. But apparently, the populace of Argentina looked at him and said, this guy is our future. We continue to go the other route. We will be literally inflation at 10,000% every day. Rakes Jr.'s in the house. Good to see you, brother. How is Frank doing on Channel 1800? My mom teaches K through 4th. She's retiring. I think I'm going to have her homeschool till they are older. I'll put them in other activities. There's nothing wrong with old homeschooling, Travis. Caddyshack, attaboy. Love me some Caddyshack with Rodney Dangerfield, Bill Murray. You can be a dick to people if you tell them you have adult autism. Not a bad way to go. I have adult autism. Happy Thanksgiving to anyone alone or with your family. Slam, good to see brother Slam in the house. Check out Slam's channel. David Smith is in the house. Good to see you. Take her easy. Enemy of the State. Yes, Gene Hackman and Jason Lee. Great movie. Great movie. Been watching some old skateboard videos from the 80s. Pal Peralta, Public Domain, Bam This, Wheels of Fire, Streets of Fire, Rubbish Heap, H Street, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Stripes, great movie, Megatron. Great movie. A good pick-me-up movie for me is It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World. There you go. Even watching like The Matrix, you know, the 13th Floor, The Game with Sean Penn, Michael Douglas, The Adjustment Bureau with Matt Damon, great movie. Inception, another good movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. Guys, I'm actually going to travel in January or after when the winter is over and look for any advice. Come to Mexico, come to the US. Imagine you go back to the days when you had that ignorant bliss and just skate, listen to K-Rock. I was in high school in 97. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of my old skate like heroes and stuff and just thinking of those days about how fancy free life was. It was so different. If I could tell myself, as Ishi asked me, I would say, be careful of those chemicals that you call love and intimate romance. I wonder what if I knew that today, I would not have gotten married. I'd be probably traveling. I probably would have a different career. I'd be a minimalist. Most like, you know, I think a lot of times I might be out. I might have bought a Volkswagen Westphalia and just driven around the world, worked odd jobs. Who knows? But if I knew what I knew then, life would have been different. But I didn't. So I've been through what I've been through, and I wouldn't be here talking and communicating to great guys like yourself if I hadn't been through what I went through. So hopefully we can help others that are either in the boat, haven't got in the boat, or getting out of the boat, on which, you know, on some good experience and advice. So that's where we're at today. Slam says, I'm going to practice bass tonight. Yep. Did you get an amp? Mad Max coming soon. I think you're right, Nick. It'll be interesting to see. You remember Gleaming the Cube? Yes, with Christian Slater. That's a great, great movie. And then there's the other one, Thrashing with Josh Brolin. High school was 94 to 98 for me. Those were some good days. I was in high school from 87 to 90, so I'm a little bit older than you. But nevertheless, a long time ago, 30 plus years ago. Definition of insanity, keep getting married and expecting a different result. Trog, well said, brother. And there's a lot of guys that keep thinking their next girlfriend will be the one. I got buddies that have been married second, third times. Those chemicals turned frogs G-A-Y. Ah! Anybody know the skateboard movie Whiskey? You know, I think I've heard of it. I've never seen it though, Char. I'll have to check it out. That's funny thinking about all those cool old skater and BMX movies. Rad was a great BMX movie. Yes. Big pop-up. Rad was great. Crew Jones. He was the star in it, remember? Remember when he was riding on the lumberyard, and then he had that fat like motorcycle cop following him, and Lori Loughlin was in that movie. I have that movie on. I copied it. I downloaded it back in the Napster, and what was the other one? Mega Sparks, MP3 Sparks, Napster. I downloaded it from Napster. What's the other one? It started with a K. Kazaa. And I got it on a disc, so it's very difficult to find. I think it's on Amazon, but they're expensive. I think it was like $100 for a DVD of Rad. Only 10 more toxic relationship until you meet your unicorn. Wouldn't that be a great bumper sticker? Right there with that quote would be dope. Mercury turns frogs G-A-Y. They learned that from a Minnesota river and mutations from mercury dumps in the river. Now they put it in our vax. Interesting, Saint. I don't know. I don't disagree with that statement. Ordering an amp. Attaboy. A lot of great stuff in those days, Big Papa. If we all go back, we'd probably all do the same again. The power of the ladies and the kitty when we were younger. Oh, testosterone is a dangerous drug, isn't it? I was a country kid, no board, just dirt bikes. Well, you rode your dirt bikes. You rode your Yamaha and Kawasaki, Suzuki. You ever get into snowboarding? I did. I started snowboarding on the Burton Woody. Then I upgraded to a Burton Elite, and I ride a Lamar 163. I've had it for 20 years. Great deck. People go, oh, rad, you need a new board. Now this thing still cruises like nobody's business. LimeWire. That's right. But I taught my boys how to boards, and they kill it. Every woman, especially above 35, I spoke with after the divorce is on some kind of anxiety med or they're box wined. We are with you, Rad, no matter what. As long as we share our feelings and act like men, we can act like an adult. Well said, Christian. A good movie is Ford versus Ferrari. That's a great movie. Christian Bale, good history movie. Sad Ken Miles, as a race car driver, was underrated and got wins stolen from him due to official BS. Yeah, it's always rigged somehow, right? But that was a great movie. Saw it in the theaters with my son. Remember, we are no longer alone in the live streaming service. Speak from your heart. Travis knows a thing or two. He's in his band Curious Syndicate. You guys got to make some new songs. Curious Syndicate. I've played on my old channel tons of lives with their opening. I got to play some more. Here's a great tip I heard recently. Hang out in a rich environment or a good gym. Make friends and connections. That's how to make money. Thoughts. Sheba McDrip New. I think you're new, but tell me where you're from. But I would agree with that. Birds of a feather flock together. Get with people that are loyal, that are, but don't trust everybody. Let their actions speak. If I could do it again, I wouldn't get married. I think you are onto something, Seraphim. Anyone heard MGTOW Life is doing? We brought him up the other day. I know FJT talks to him. He's had a second round of the cancer did come back. He's been fighting it. I talked to Hammer about him. He hadn't heard. We thought that he might have passed, but FJT says he's still hanging in there. So send your prayers to MGTOW Life. He's been a solid dude, and if he's listening, we wish you well, brother. I had a friend from college just pass away 2 days ago. Cancer, MS. He was 50 years old. Left 2 kids and a wife. Just sad. One of my roommates he was about 250 pounds, and the time he died, he was about 90 pounds. Didn't look anything. I spoke to him about a year ago. They had amputated his leg due to gangrene, diabetes, and whatever, and it was just a matter of time. But at least he's not suffering. Surround yourself with successful people, and it rubs off. Truth. I met 2 women up north while hunting, one 19 and other 40. Both were on anxiety meds. Didn't think I'd see a 19-year-old. My daughter was put on antidepressants and anxiety before she graduated high school. Her mom put her on it. I play guitar, but ditched my amps for digital. Now use Amplitude and studio monitors on an iMac. Interesting. Sounds amazing, and have thousands of pedals and amps to choose from. That's where it's going. Like even the pedals that you just buy one pedal and you got 10,000 different sounds, so you don't need multiple pedals. It's crazy. Even the amps where you can do the feedback loops. Dope. Yeah, Doug was a good dude, man. He was a teacher, and but he's not struggling anymore. So, again, you just never know when your time when your time is up. Keto carnivore diet helps fight blank as well metabolic approach. Well said. The reason I didn't say that is because YouTube is censoring anything that deals with anti-establishment and going and literally a diet and fasting is anti-establishment if you think about it, because the establishment wants you to be a customer of pills. and therapy that does typically destroys your body in the process. Now, does it always do that? Has there been success of treating it through the establishment? Sure. But in the end, it's extremely expensive and it's not a guarantee if it'll work or not. So having the good old fashioned way of diet, especially carnivore, all the processed crap, guys, and I'm guilty of it too, is not good for our bodies. Our bodies are meant to eat meat, struggle for berries, and a little bit of honey every now and again. Other than that, we're not meant to eat any of that stuff. When bread was introduced back with the Egyptians, that's when a lot of diseases happened, unfortunately. However, will Rat ever stop eating? Today I got to have a roll. I've got to have mashed potatoes. But you can offset that by trying to eat clean the majority of the time, water, electrolytes, fasting. Fasting is the holy grail of health. And exercise. That would be a no, Mochi. That would be a no. If Frank's still alive, I don't know. Hopefully. I know he's struggling. Prayers to Frank as well. The establishment also wants you to get married. Yes, they do. Anything that goes against the establishment, you're labeled. You're labeled. Eat the bug, says Klaus Schwab. I would not, if you're gonna date women and hook up with them, if you're traveling, hook up with other travelers in the same hotel. Inform MGTOW Life about a book by Edward Griffin titled World Without a Blank, the story of B-17. Good to see you, Brian Renard Davis, back in the house. Hope all is well. Same author of The Creature from Jekyll Island. And I remember I watched that. I watched something on that. But you're right. I mean, there are actual therapies out there that cost 10 cents that'll cure all that. Sugar is the biggest, and processed foods is the biggest agitator and fuel of the cells of the CANCER. Single mothers don't want their daughters to be happy and have a fulfilled life. They want them to live just as miserable. Oh, isn't that the truth, Betty? Isn't that the truth? Those digital amp simulators have come a long way. Last one I had was 11 years and didn't like it, but I try some new ones now. My crate amp just kaput in March. Damn thing broke after 26 years. Great thing. Had a lot of effects, but now I got a small little Black Star. Damn thing is the size of a toaster, and it's great. Eat healthy, stay in shape, stay hydrated, and that's 79% of people's health problems. Well said, brother. I agree with that statement, Christian. Yeah, I can't mention big pharmas. They need the sales. They need the customers. You do not become a patient. You become a repeat customer for these, unfortunately. I mean, look at the television shows and then look at the commercials between the television shows. 80% of them are some therapy that they're pushing. You can be fat, but just take this drug. No, lose weight fast, get your body back to its optimal state. Was there pharma back in Jesus's time? No, there's frankincense and myrrh, right? Those essential oils were huge back then. They rubbed oils on you. And they also did a lot of fasting. There's evidence of fasting in the Bible. Now, water was not a very solid, it was very contaminated. Well said, Timothy. They do prosper. But water was extremely contaminated. There's actually a documentary called Beer Saved the World, that these people would take pond water that was full of bacteria and giardia. They would make light beer, like 1% to 2% alcohol content beer. So difficult to get drunk, but it purified the water so people had some sort of hydration, right? There's no hospitals back then. There was no physicians. Laugh is very good therapy. Well said, brother. Children can only be happy if everyone else is miserable as them. Sheba. Children can only, I think about that. Rockefellers took over the whole medicine cabinet. There you go. I don't know if you guys know this, but medical schools were started by specific companies that sold medicinals in the form of a tablet. I'm trying to watch my words here. And so when these graduates would get out of the medical schools, they would then pitch or advise their patients to take these specific pharmas. So the medical schools you see they were set up by the very companies that wanted the physicians to prescribe the prescriptions that they manufactured. Read about it. Guys be at work pressuring me to date a female coworker at my restaurant job. I'm not dating, not worth it. Dating a coworker is playing with fire to lose a job. Yes, stay away from, do not dip your pen in the company ink. Well said. All right, Char, hang in there, brother. Well, sleep well, brother. They're talking about putting fatties on Ozempic instead of helping with their diet. Here's the problem, Trog, with that drug. The complications that are coming from that are going to be through the roof. Again, your best weight loss pill is your diet, hopefully keto or carnivore, fasting 2 to 3 times a week, and exercise, and not eating at night. Quit eating after 5 and 6 p.m. Get at least 16 to 20 hours a day of fasting. For 50,000 years, we were bearded savages eating meat and fighting for our life. It's the way nature intended. Meat, it's what's for dinner. Well said, Stephen. Happy Thanksgiving. Project AZ is back. It's been a while. Good to have you. My hope is you're alone in the holidays. I don't like all the drama either, Project. Good to have you. Even if I don't have a wife, I was not alone. Saw my parents tonight, visited a coworker, reached out to people. And yeah, reach out to somebody, it could be like an old schoolmate. Yep, a lot of the herbs and naturopath have been called quack medicine. But it's probably more potent than anything. Even the dentist is owned by the blank, as well as the blank and fat process blank, including blank is destroying the teeth. Well said. I agree with that. Polska's back. Polska is enjoying. I don't know, what do the Poles do in Thanksgiving? You have any Polish dish that you guys like? You gonna meet up with MGTOW Outlaw tonight, or you just kicking it? Hope your parents are doing well, brother. Polska streamed the other night, but I couldn't make it. Feliz Dia de Acción de Gracias. Igual. Let's see what we got here. SDA Church is a huge player in pushing plant-based diet. Well, it's funny. I've watched a lot of carnivore, keto, vegan, and the carnivores. There's a couple carnivore. They're actually physicians, surgeons that say they've been on carnivore for several years. They're like, plants are trying to kill you. And then you got the plant people and the keto people. Here's the deal. I'm a moderator of all things. I'm never going to give up ice cream. Now, do I eat ice cream every day? No. But if I eat clean the majority of my life, or at least try to, I fast, I exercise, I have a good mental clarity. I'm not going to, and I've thought about this. Look, carnivore is great. I don't think it's sustainable for so long. It could be. It could completely change your brain chemistry to only desire meat, which is great. But for me, man, I'm gonna miss chips and guacamole. I love thin restaurant chips with nice sea salt and lime, like the Chipotle chips with salsa and guac. I mean, I love that. I'm not giving it up. I don't think having optimal 100%, the most amazing health is wonderful. But if I get 95% of health and enjoy some of the foods that I like, I'm great. I mean, even a good pizza is wonderful. You're well said, Trug. Always remember, right? Some simp just meet your ex and think he met his unicorn. Well said. Who said that? Someone said, be sorry for the guy that's dating your ex. Now we celebrate Thanksgiving. Polska, attaboy. Lots of doctors don't know how to read blood tests accurately. Bobby Barrow, where are you from, brother? Good to have you. Dr. Sean, yes. I've watched a lot of Sean Baker stuff. I mean, I like his stuff, but I just don't think it's, man, if I'm in Mexico, I'm going to want chips and salsa. I'm going to go eat at Goose Tacos, which is the greatest. But, if I can eat well 80% of my life, I'm not going to bitch and moan. I think there's something I don't think you should be, what's the word, a fanatic in everything. I think you need moderation. I'm playing Lenore PS4. It's very good for you. Learn about female nature. Elsa is female hypergamy. Interesting. I don't know that game. I don't play a lot of games. I don't even have a. The only games I know how to play are Excite Bike and Super Mario. I pretty much hate how much ladies puff up the BS holiday season, eat wisely, and don't become a fat ass like these ladies. Love the meals, but never willing to stay in shape. Well said. Well said, brother. Mr. Hemi is back. Good to see another wrench in here. Happy Thanksgiving. We're omnivores. We eat everything. We're one of few species that do. Has driven a lot of human development. Be able to eat everything, make it easier for us to survive with her. Yeah, I agree with that statement. I think we're an omnivore. I think carnivore has value, maybe 30, 60, 90 days, get you back to biology, and then introduce healthy vegetable. I mean, I like a good salad with balsamic vinegar and some cheese on it and some cucumbers. It'd be hard for me. I mean, I've done keto and it was great. The problem with keto for me is like I lost a lot of energy, especially riding my bike. Christian's learning about female hypergamy. All you need to know about that is she's not yours. It's just your turn. JW in the house. JW Marriott. Happy Turkey Day to you, brother. Tell me where you are from. Tell me where you are from. Whenever you see an attractive woman somewhere, there is a guy sick of her shiat. Pure facts, boys. Pure facts. Honestly, you could eat like a garbage truck, and if you stay in shape, it negates 99% of that poor diet. Stay in shape. It's so important. Absolutely. I mean, my grandfather died at almost 104 years old. He ate white bread, iceberg lettuce, Velveeta, Miracle Whip, everything processed. All he had was a hip replacement. Why did he live so long? Well, my dad's side of the family has had strong hearts. My great grandmother died at 95. Several of his brothers and sisters died later, but he had a desire to learn things, and he always stayed active. Good to see you, Doug. Appreciate you here, brother. But he stayed active. He exercised his mind and his brain and his body. He always jogged. I remember that. He was a jogger, even late into his 90s. And he wasn't running, he was fast walking, but that's what he talked about. Humans are flawed. Y'all can't make vitamin C unlike dogs, I think. No, probably not. We got to take vitamin C. You are what you eat, says Seraphim. It's got to be. That is the truth. I think traditional hypergamy has radically changed over the years. Women really cheat up these days. Most cheat down. What's your opinion? I think there's truth to that. Yeah, I agree with that statement, Christian. I am John is back. Good to see you, brother. Happy Turkey Day to you. Hope you are doing well and stuffed. And those who don't have their kids, we get it, you know. If anything, write a nice heartfelt message to those kids and let them know you love them, that you're thinking about them. And that's where we sit. Beautiful life from Laguna Beach. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Hope the weather's doing well. Made some good Midwest food in Laguna Beach. Good to have you. UF with Bad Religion. I like Bad Religion. Really good. They're great. In fact, early Bad Religion from 1981 is awesome. You too. Enjoy the long weekend, you guys. The only game I play is the same games we're all playing, the BS casino called Soy Society. Still trying to find my way to the exit. Please stay focused and moving, boys. Stay frosty. Stay classy, San Diego. Funny how they seem interested around cuffing season. Cuffing season for 300 Trebek. One thing I noticed how married guys are miserable, even my dad, with the argument and nagging. Like my family is when I'm going to date. Not happening after my ex-girlfriend and my parents. Well, sometimes peace, quiet, and freedom is more valuable than being hitched to a female companion. You can work on yourself when you're alone, right? It's very difficult to work on yourself if you're in a relationship or you're in a situation where you got to take care of somebody. So there's value in being alone. But this stream was all about connecting with those guys that are missing their kids or alone. They feel it's just difficult. They have a heavy heart, and that's kind of why I wanted to just reach out, set something up so we can all just chat, bring those folks together that really, need to feel understood, not necessarily fixed, but understood. Ex-girlfriend and parents. Doug says, I'm new to punk rock music. Very impressed with some of my favorite punk bands. Oh, 7 Seconds, The Vandals, Adolescence, Descendants, DI, Bad Religion. I'm only a fan of Black Flag with their first singer. Obviously, Minor Threat. Bad Brains is my favorite of all. They're the originals. East Coast. There's an East Coast and West Coast punk scene, Doug, which is very interesting. Stockholm Syndrome is for most married guys is the norm. Sure. They stay. No drama weekend for 150. Trebek. No drama weekend. Don't get distracted. There is an exit. Stay away from the past and family drama as much as you can. Yeah, there's drama even in your own internal family. There was drama with our nuclear family. I am John says I had a great day and completely alone. Good for you. Love to hear that. Remember, folks, we get single. We remember love did exist when women understood us men. I think there was a time where I would say that there was a different sort of respect. And I don't think that respect exists really today in 98% of the ladies out there. Any BMTH fans here, I can recommend many great songs. Which ones do you recommend? I got a lot more done when alone. You can concentrate on what you're doing. Absolutely, Nick. What do you think about Henry Rollins? Not as, again, I'm a purist. Look, the only singers that have been able to overcome the original singer, Brian Johnson from AC/DC. What other singers have replaced the original singer and have the same deal? I don't think I can't even remember. I don't even know. That's the only one that I can listen to. I can listen to Bon Scott and Brian Johnson from AC/DC and not, but Rollins, he has value, but I like the original Black Flag with Robert Rodriguez. Is it Robert Rodriguez? Richard Rodriguez? Can't remember. Debatable, old Christian Hay. Project said he had a productive day alone. Good for you, brother. Decided not to visit my parents today. I'm looking at female dating profiles at picking up on the little details. Majority post photos of exotic locations, private jets, high maintenance lifestyle. I notice all that stuff now. If you're getting on dating apps, again, play it like a stock or a slot machine. Do it for entertainment purposes only. Enjoy reading profiles. Shake your head at delusion. I've been alone since 2016, not lonely. That's the difference, being alone versus lonely. Loneliness is seeking external validation. This channel and most of these channels are all about internal validation. The only one that can validate you is the one staring back at you in the mirror. Yeah, he is pretty liberal. A lot of the punk guys are liberal, though, which is interesting because they're against the establishment. So go figure how that works. Watching you drink. I just got a little white wine here. Not a big deal. But stay frosty, Timothy. He is too liberal. Are you ready for Christmas songs? Some of them. Avalanche and Sleepwalking. Interesting. There you go. Sam Fisher's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Dating apps exist mainly to feel your dating apps have destroyed relationships. It's as simple as that. But if you get on them, use them as entertainment only. It's like playing a slot machine. You're going to lose, but you're just excited to pull the lever. Maybe you'll win, but you won't. Men should never seek external validation. If every man knew that, Bobby, what world would we live in? It is what helps keep me monk looking at the delusional dating profile. I just love it. There was a guy named Keeping It Keith. I don't know if he's still around on YouTube, and he would always like do a like an hour long, and he'd put up profiles and he'd talk about him. He'd laugh at him. If he didn't like him, he'd say barf, and this little dog would bark. And if he did like him, he'd have this other thing. But it was great. I completely agree, Rad. Reading these female emails or Tinder response is funny. Well, you just got to look at most men. Literally, they match with the woman, or they're not getting matches, so their self-confidence go through the window, and it is what it is. And they can't look at that anymore. The dating apps from when I got divorced were wonderful. They're not anymore good because the delusion has gone through the roof. Rage Against the Machine, great band. I agree, Megatron. Sarvesh Sawant, happy Thanksgiving to you, brother. Hope you are well. People don't win on Tinder even if they get a match. Well, here's the problem. My sister was on Tinder. She showed me she had 400 matches in a week. She has no time to keep up with them. Yeah, Keeping It Keith. You guys know who I'm talking about. I don't know if he's still making stuff. My life gets certs, polish my resume, apply jobs, get rejected, ghosted, rinse and repeat. It's almost like a power trip, ego boosting. Yeah, sure. You're speaking some truth. Dating apps are, and it keeps them distracted. I just recorded 3/4 of Halo each campaign, only to find out that my microphone picked up all the background noise with the same game footage. Man, I don't think I even know how to turn on. I don't even think I know how to put in a video game called Halo. That's how bad I am. I can only play like a controller with 2 buttons. Punk meets a socialist and commies, just like anarchists. Think for yourself. That's a problem with punk. It's like they were against like Sex Pistols, anarchy in the UK, God Save the Queen, the fascist regime. They're not punks anymore. They're socialists. Most punk was all about against the establishment. Now it's turned into socialists and cammies. Gerald's back. Good to see you. Punkers are anti-establishment by being anarchist. The establishment is Marxist. Anarchists and Marxists are natural enemies. Well, back then they sang against the man, right? They were against the man. The exploited sang about that. GBH, TSOL. But now most of those singers, TSOL, Jack Grisham, who's the singer of TSOL, he's a PhD. I think he's a professor at UCLA or USC in like psychology, sociology, total lib. One of the greatest bands ever, TSOL. If you're on a dating site, go get a hobby. Truth. I'm an anarchist and I believe that men ought to be ruled by other men. One point there was anarchy. Low-class women list their delusion, but the smart ones use their photo to broadcast their expectation. For example, all the high lifestyle photos. Sure. Anarchy just means without rules. Rulers, not without rules. Sure. Sound engineers back from England or Europe. Good to have you, brother. Hope you are well. Guys, I'm going to cut this off in a minute. Hope you are in a couple minutes. John Lydon is actually pretty sane and intelligent. Johnny Lydon is great. One of my favorite. Who do we have in the chat but none other than 5 Years of Freedom? Wes had to post 2 Welsh drags, asked me out, then proceeded to tell me they were looking for a relationship. And I let them know I'm only interested in drinking and smashing. Take Wes's advice and be upfront with them. I'm interested in poon. Good to see you, brother. Hope you are well. It's been a while. I was just asking about you with Timmy Kramer. Send me a message. You still got my numbers. But good to have Wes. 5 Years of Freedom. Awesome to have him back. I'm so thankful, men, since 2017, still single and completely against LTRs, cohab, and investing in females. They can all go kick rocks. Glad to catch your stream. Sound engineer at 6 a.m. here. Good for you, brother. I'm glad you could as well. Another OG. My crazy half-sister ex-boyfriend just got married. Jeez. I'm glad things are well, Wes. All is well. Cheers to you. The Secretions. I remember those guys. Favorite punk band. Best to everybody. Well, listen, guys, go have a good evening. Stay busy. Remember, there are people that love you, that don't even know you, that respect you. And you can reach out to anyone that's streaming, anybody in the comments. We understand one another. And we're just helping each other move through this crazy world that's spinning on a rock in the middle of nowhere. Be thankful today you are still single and unwilling to be chained to the FIFO BS and their collusion with the cuck state. You guys, happy Thanksgiving, or wherever you're at. I'm out.